Welcome to Debruary, everybody. It's our first live of the Debruary month. We got something coming up on Tuesday. We're gonna still do What the Fuck Tuesday all month. So that's 4 shows at least. But everything else is gonna be guests and different topics and all kinds of fun stuff coming up. I'm glad you guys could make it. When I planned all this, I forgot about Super Bowl. But we don't really have that many sports fans here anyway, I don't think. So we'll get along quite fine without them. I see face birthdays today. Happy birthday. My brother's birthday was yesterday. That means you're a great person. I love my brother to death. I sent him some 49ers gear because he's out in Washington, D.C., so he could wear it today during the game. Hey, everybody. Man, I'm so tired. It's like next year I need to get an assistant or two or three or five to help me do this because it's just becoming just a bit much. But today, let's talk about what we're going to be doing here today. Today, I have collected a list of 20. Oh, really? Thanks for the update, Princess. 21 things that women who have a grown woman on, they grown women, they're not just girls, they're not just females, all the stuff. Okay, the things people like to say. We are talking about grown ass women. Okay, that's what we are going to be focusing on. And there's a big difference in the mindset and the behavior, how grown women handle men the men in their lives, how grown women handle other situations as well. But we're going to pretty much stick to relationships because I could be here for weeks if I talked about every single thing. But my baby didn't. Oh, that's too cute. Um, so let's get started. Let us proceed with my list. Oh, wait, that's right. Uh, I have slides. Hold on a minute. I got to get my mind right. This time is just throwing me off. 4 o'clock is this is usually when I'm taking my nap. So I have to get my mind straight here. Okay. Uh, okay, now. Number one, a grown woman will never, ever, ever sacrifice herself for a man. Now, I know that's a common thread. People feel like, you need to give, you got to take care of your man, and women promote that. I take care of my man, I uplift my man, I got my man's back to snatch. And that's true. I mean, you do want to provide support and encouragement to your partner. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if you have to sacrifice yourself, your morals and values, especially for a man and what he's talking about, what he wants, that is a mistake, and that's something that you should never do. We hear women talk about, well, he wanted all these like extra people in the room. You know what I'm trying to say and be delicate. Um, and at first I didn't want to, but finally I just gave in. Or any other thing that he wants to do that's against your moral stance and your values. And and I made some notes. Let me stick to my notes because I'm gonna go all off track. If you're a grown woman, of course you support your man. You want him to be healthy. You want him to be successful. You want him to be, his dreams to come true. You're going to do that as much as you can. But like I said, there are boundaries here. And you also demand that he does the same thing for you. This is not a one-way street. Um, And if the grown woman feels that the relationship is becoming skewed and she's giving too much, she has no problem leaving that situation behind because that means that the relationship has then become toxic and, to her mental and emotional health. And so she cuts it off. So, I'm not saying you don't give and you don't support and you don't care about your man. So before everybody goes running wild, I never said that. What I said is there are limits. Okay, and anytime the limit presses up against your boundaries to where you're going to start sacrificing yourself, and sacrificing is like giving up something that you hold near and dear, like your morals, your values. Okay, excuse me. So you never do that. You never do that. Okay, let's move on to the next one. A grown woman does not play these little games where she can't do nothing for herself. She's just prancing around and coming up, to try to make the man feel like he's the big cheese. That's a lot of women play that game. Some men really eat it up. If they act like she can't do anything herself, and they quote have to do it for her, and it makes them feel, you know, it just makes them feel important, I guess, and needed or whatever. But a grown woman aligns herself with a grown man. A grown man is a guy who is confident, self assured, and of course, he enjoys doing things to make his woman happy, but he does not need her to be weak in order for him to feel strong. He doesn't need her to have to ask him everything and give his opinion about everything. He's fully aware that she can make decisions on her own, and he's confident that she can do it, and he loves that she can do it because this makes two strong people in the relationship instead of one person carrying the load for everybody. And that's what a woman presenting herself as being weak and ineffectual does. I know that happens. I know a lot of men like that dynamic. I know they will try to pressure you into being that way. They will complain that you too independent, you too strong, you don't need a man. They'll say things like that. And so that you ladies then get the idea, well, in order to get a man, I have to come across as, needy and weak and indecisive and all of this kind of stuff. I'm telling you, grown women don't do that. If they see that the guy is just that kind of weak, mentally weak, spiritually weak individual with no confidence and stuff, unless he's standing on somebody else's head, then she just gets rid of him because he's stupid. He's useless. He's a nam. Okay? I don't care how he looks or what kind of career success he has. If he tries to put you as a woman in that trick bag where you underneath him so that he can feel like he's somebody, then you better understand what you're doing. Grown women never accept that kind of relationship. That kind of man is beneath them. That situation is like ridiculous. They're not gonna do it. Number three, a grown woman is not afraid to do it by herself. Now, what is it? It is all kinds of things. And it's like she is, of course, she would love to have the encouragement and support of her partner in realizing her dreams. But there's comes a point where sometimes people on their grind and you on yours, and they would have to sacrifice their dreams to help you with yours. Well, maybe you don't really want that. So you want that person to be successful on their own, and you want to be successful on your own, and you are confident that you can do it. You know you can do it by yourself, or you can go get a banker or somebody like that. You don't have to have your man holding your hand like a big baby. Okay? There's a lot of women like that. It's like, oh, I don't know. I have to ask my husband. I have to ask Johnny. I don't know. I just don't know if I could do that. I have to see if he can help me. That kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about because we've all had friends like that where you just want to slap the crap out of them because they act so stupid and weak. And it's just like, do it. You do something with yourself. Um, and these are the women who sometimes they have a man who will actually try to hinder their success. But these women are going to do it anyway, whether they have to go through him, around him, under him, over him, whatever. They're going to make their dreams come true. Nothing and no one is going to stop them. Okay, you don't let some man stop. You don't let him say, well, I don't want my wife to blah, blah, blah. I don't want my wife going back to school. I don't want my wife to get an advanced degree. School ain't nothing, blah, 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 blah. If it's meaning something to you, then it's important, and then you go ahead and you do it anyway. That's what I'm saying. You don't let a man stop you from achieving your dreams. You do it by yourself, and you do it anyway. All right? And weak people, see, I'm sure each and every one of you, as I go through this list of 21 things, has either done this at a time or two in your own life, or you know somebody who does, or who has, rather. It's very common behaviors amongst women. And a lot of them are a lot of women are socialized to think this way, to present themselves as weak and ineffectual and needy and needing a man's guidance so they can, quote, submit and all this kind of stuff. I was like, I don't know where they be doing that at because the way our economy is these days, and can't nobody be bothered with that. It takes two strong people. Hey, magic woman, thank you. It takes two strong people hitting it hard to make things go. Okay, it's just too hard to do it by yourself. So a man with any sense would want a woman who's right there in the trenches with him. Okay, shoulder to shoulder, back to back, whatever way you're gonna fight, they're there in it together, you know. So if a guy he wants to keep you down small and stuff, so he can be trying to support the family on that minimum wage job he got, y'all eating canned beans and whatnot when you could get up and get a job. No, you don't do that. Okay, number 4. I should put numbers on these. A grown woman does not look for a man to pay her way. That means when you get in a relationship, you maintain your financial independence. You know, a lot of women are like, well, he need to be paying my bills. Why? Weren't you paying them yourself? Why did you need him to come in the door and pay your bills? What is that? Now, I know if some people are married and the wife is off on maternity leave, of course he's going to pay all the bills. But I would like to think that you had planned that, and so you had some money stashed away, some kind of way. And of course, emergencies do happen, and your partner can step in and have your back while down. A medical emergency, a fire in your house, a bad car accident that lays you up or something, a workers' comp injury. I mean, something. There's going to be situations where people are not at their best and they need somebody to help them. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about fully healthy women that to meet with some dude and get all in the snit because they feel like he should be paying their bills. And I always look at them like, why would you think that? Where did that thought come from? And dudes that do that, what's wrong with you? You don't need to be paying no heifer's bills. If that's not your wife, you don't do that. Okay. Now, like I said, in an emergency situation, you definitely have each other's back. But just coming at the door thinking that that's what he's supposed to be doing. You need to learn how to manage your money better if you can't make your own ends meet or get a second job. That's what you need to do. That is what grown women do. Now, there's women who are not grown who act like little girls, and that daddy's supposed to take care of them. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of conflicting information out there, but I'm telling you this: when you look in the eyes of a woman who is begging somebody to take care of her, she has low self esteem. She doesn't feel together. Her life is out of control. She's making poor decisions, all this kind of stuff. Their eyes have a vacuous, empty look because they feel alternately ashamed of themselves and powerless. They feel like victims and they're looking for somebody to come in and save them. That's you need to you want to look in the mirror in the morning, ladies, and love that heifer that you see staring back. And you want to see fire in her eyes. You don't want to see that just that dullness of just someone who's just given up. Okay. So a lot of this, hypergamy is definitely something that you would do if you're married and you're planning to have children. You do not want to get in a situation where you are with a man who cannot support his family. What if something happens to you? Like I just said, there's accidents and stuff. What's supposed to happen while you're on maternity leave? How is it going to be if you guys going to have a situation where, say, you think you're going to have one baby, you end up having triplets? Okay, you ain't going back to work. The daycare alone would kill you. Okay, so can this man pick up that slack and handle it? Are you going to be the one picking up the slack and handle because you got with a dusty bomb, a nam that you have to support because he doesn't make enough money? That's all hypergamy is about. Okay, he's getting a man who can help your children and you live the lifestyle that you want them to have. You want your kids to go to private school. You want your kids to have vacation. You want your kids to have tutors and music lessons, and dance lessons, and all that stuff. You pick a husband who can help you make that happen. You don't pick a man that you have to help feed and clothe because he's broke. Okay, that's what hypergamy means. All right. Now, don't get it twisted. That don't mean you walk in the door with your hands stuck out and some man's taking care of your ass. That's not what that means. Okay. Ooh, my goodness. Y'all be confused. All right, let's move on. Where am I? Okay. Yeah, you're not looking for no sponsor. Okay. You don't do that. You make your own magic happen. Okay. That's what makes you feel successful. And every time you do something, you set a goal and you achieve it, that raises your self-esteem that much higher, that much higher. You feel more capable, more able to handle challenges that come your way. And you start feeling like, oh my God, there's nothing in this world I can't do if I set my mind to it because I'm that bitch. Okay. But if you got somebody always doing everything for you, you sitting around like a little kid, And then you wonder why your self esteem is low. And you don't feel capable. You don't feel like you can do anything. You doubt yourself all the time. Okay, the only way to make that happen is you got to challenge yourself. And that means that you're going to have to do it by yourself sometimes and not accept anybody's help. So what you fail? You get up. You nobody ever died from failure. Yeah, you can do that, Keish, but you still need to have your own. I can any man who's he's gonna want to do nice things for his lady. I'm not saying that he can't do them. I'm saying don't go in the door demanding and expecting him to, because you don't have it. Okay, that's different. Let's move on. Where am I? Okay. A grown woman does not waste her time whining around about her man or her relationship. Oh my God. Why do y'all do this? Now, admittedly, I'm an advice columnist. That's what I do. I'm not talking about where somebody writes a professional to get advice on how to fix a situation. They write, they get the answer, they make it happen. Okay, bam. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about every time you pick up the phone with your woman, your girlfriend, rather, your girlfriends, she's talking about her man and what he did wrong and how he didn't do this and how he didn't do that and how she can't find him. She think he's cheating. He's lying. He's corner cutting. He's this and that. She mad at him. They not talking. All this stuff. Okay, over and over and over and over and over and over and over for years sometimes. The same thing over and over. That's not what a grown woman does. She's not going to be spreading her business all over creation. She's not going to do that. If she's having a problem with her man, she's going to address it with him. Right? She's going to sit down with him and she's going to talk to him about it and say, these are the changes that I would like to see. Um, is this something that you can do? He's either going to say, yes, I can do that, or no, I don't want to do that, or I can't do that. In which case, if the ball's back in her court, and so then she says, okay, well, then if that's the case, then um, this relationship is over because I feel like it has become a situation that is unhealthy for me and it's not giving me what do I always tell you guys? This is not the relationship that I want. Okay, this is not satisfying my needs. So there's no need to fight and argue and go crazy. You don't need to bend the ears of all your girlfriends and cuss and get drunk and go through all these changes. You don't need to tell everybody in your family your business. That is childish. Okay, do not do that. Because sometimes, you guys, you will go tell him some stuff he did right. And in the meantime, he goes to therapy, he goes to treatment, or rehab, and whatever, and he fixes himself. He gets a job, he does what he's supposed to do, and he's back on track. Okay. And in the meantime, though, you done ran your mouth. So now all these people over here are mad because, of course, they on your team because they're your friends and your family, right? And now you back with dude and looking at them all kind of crazy, like, well, why you get an attitude at him? You did that with your big mouth. Shut up about your relationship unless he's doing something like cheating or doing something to your kids or something like that. I mean, like stealing money or something that's criminal. Nobody needs to know about that. What of the fights you all have and all this stuff. Keep that to yourself. Right? It's nobody's business. Oh, yeah. And then if you have to decide too, is this what you want to talk about? What you want to argue with him about and get him to change? Is it really that important? I mean, give that some thought. Give that some thought because I will just share with you briefly. Let me get off my sidetrack. Um, when I was still married and I was really young, he was 10 years older than me. And he'd been married before, and I had not. And I had a terrible temper, worse than the one that I have now. Magnifying my temper now by about 10. That was me. Crazy. And, I would be just going off, just mad, just cussing, acting a fool, right? And I would say, get out, go to I'm send him to his mother's house, right? So go get, I don't want to see you. I want you out of here. Okay, now, at the time, it was really important to me. I was just hot about it, whatever it was. Do you know after that man died, I sat there and I tried really hard to think about what it was I was so mad about that I had to throw my man out and send him to his mother's house. Don't you know how many times I wished I had those hours and that time back with him? So that's my warning to you ladies, or my voice of experience. Before you get too jiggy with what fussing with him about, sit down and think about it. Is this going to really matter a year from now? 6 months from now, even next week. If it's not going to matter then it probably doesn't really matter now. It might, but just put that into perspective. That's all I'm going to ask you to do. So you don't make the mistake that I made, okay? After all, that's what I'm here to do, is to kind of help you guys advance your thinking and approach things in a different way. That's what our whole program is this month. That's it. We're going to make some magic happen in your life and in your love life too. Your regular life, your love life, okay? I'm telling you. So give that some thought, because I know I can't be the only one with a terrible temper that's be going off over what turned out to be a little bit of nothing. All right. So where was I? Okay, complaining. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the next one. Yeah, I should have put numbers on these things. This is terrible. Okay, a grown woman never worries about if the guy that she's seeing or just met or dating or whatever, she doesn't focus on whether he likes her or not. She worries about if she likes him or not. Now, let me tell you why that mental adjustment is necessary. So many women go through so many changes and sacrifice so much of who and what they are because they want a dude to like them. They don't put his butt in check because he might get mad and he won't like me anymore. I'm not going to say that to him because, um, you know, he won't like me and then we'll break up. So you change who you are. You change your needs. You just snuff them out. You just dismiss everything there is about you that makes you you in order to get and keep this man's attention. And you jumping through all kind of hoops because you want to get his approval. You want him to like you. Grown women don't give a damn if a man likes them or not. Because you know why? There's plenty more where he came from. And somebody somewhere is going to like you just the way you are. He's not going to be able to get enough of you. That's the man that you want. So you got somebody, you got to be going through all kind of changes to get his attention and then to think you got to go through more changes to keep it. That's not your dude. Let him go. Have the courage to move on. And stop worrying about if dudes like you or not. You should hope half of them don't like you because they're stupid, which you find out soon enough. But you know what I mean? My goodness. And then oh, that's right. I made this point too. Um, do you know that when you have this kind of confidence where you just really don't care if they, what their opinion is about you? Do you know that men can't get enough of you? And they want to be around you. They find you so refreshing, so much fun to be around, so real, so different from other women. Did you know that? You ask some guys, and you do that, and you see their response to it. Now, it doesn't mean that everyone was going to want to be your man or anything like that, but you'll see the appreciation of you in their eyes and how they talk to you. They want to be around you. Even just platonic friends will call you up and say, "Girl, come on, let me take you out for a drink. Let me take you out for lunch. Hey, we need to catch up. I ain't seen you in a minute. What you up to, this and that." They enjoy your energy because you're real and you're not worried about impressing them or getting their approval. Guys love that shit. Love it. And you that bend over backwards trying to do all these dances and stuff to get some man to pay attention to you is just ridiculous. Wearing all these kind of ridiculous, nasty little dresses and clothes and stuff. Got this all out all the time. I mean, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Think about how you're presenting yourself in the world. I'm not telling you can't dress like a hoochie if you want to. I'm just telling you to think about the repercussions if you do. Because everything ain't meant for every situation. Okay? Sometimes you need to, adjust that to where you're going to be and who you're going to be around. Be cognizant of that. Grown women are always cognizant of that because they might decide to run for president someday. And they don't want no pictures of them with no, nipple out hoochie dress up they crack to the butt on the internet. That'll come back to haunt them. And think about that. I'm just trying to say these young girls don't think about that. They be sending all these pictures. Once you put something on the internet, it's there forever. So, you might be a little hoochie now, But in 20 years, you might decide you want to do something important, world shaking, be in politics or something. And guess what? That picture gonna follow you because you were stupid. So think about this stuff. Think about it now. Yes, it is. It is called it is called having class. And you can be what I call a sophisticated sexy. We'll have to talk about that one time. Maybe I'll take my camera and go into a store and show you guys some outfits. A hoochie versus sophisticated sexy. That you can walk into a room, it can be any kind of business meeting, anything, and everybody's gonna be like, "Ooh, damn, she look good." But it's not like, nothing's really like out. You don't have to dress like that. Okay, but we'll that's another show. We'll talk about that. All right, so now we know, you don't worry about whether dude likes you. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is this one is point number 7. We got 21 to go. The grown women in the world do not give a damn about what other people think when it comes to her life and her choices. She sticks to her program, her morals, her values, her beliefs. What other people say and do is not of concern to her. She does not chase the latest trends. She don't have to have the latest labels on her back, on her feet, on her hand, in her handbags. She wears what she's comfortable with and what she likes. Now, she doesn't try to fit in with the crowd either. And I think that what the difference with grown women is, say they have a hobby or interest that's not typical, because we hear this a lot, like, "Oh, I didn't know black people did that. Black people don't do stuff like that." That's a common three thing that we hear a lot, right? Grown women don't care nothing about that. They're going to do what they like to do because it interests them and they find enjoyment in it. It enriches their life. So whether it's something that's typically, quote, black or not, or even something that's typically associated with women or not. If they're interested in it, they're going to pursue it. And that's just the way it is. And they don't care if you like it or not. They don't care what you think about it. They don't care about what, you turning your nose up, talking about gospel, nothing. They don't care because they're living their life in a way that pleases them. And you're kind of like irrelevant. Okay. It's okay, Coco. We gonna be here for a minute. We only on number 7. Why did I talk? I was just so prolific with my thoughts. First, I started. This was only 10 things. Then it went to 12, and then finally at 21, I said, "Okay, that's enough. Just stop. Stop, Deborah. Stop." Okay. Okay. So now let's move on to the next one. Grown women do not let themselves go. Now, that could, people, when you say don't let yourself go, people usually mean, physically. Like, you sit around eating bonbons and ice cream all the time and put on 50 pounds. I mean, that's part of it. But part of letting yourself go also means intellectually, of course, physically. It means it with your grooming. It also means with your health care. Okay. You take care of your body and not just going to the gym and all this. I mean, eating well, drinking, enough water, eating nutritious foods, taking supplements and stuff, making sure that you stretch, that you stay peaceful, do your, what you call it, meditations or whatever, in order to keep stress away from your life as much as you can. You take care of, there's a lot of self care involved with grown women who recognize that they are just as important as the people that they love. They have to love themselves as well. So if you want to take a bath in a hot bath and read in there and have your glass of wine and stuff, you know that that's okay. And you tell the people in your house, this is what I'm going to be doing. If you interrupt me, you die. Okay. And so everybody knows your mama's doing her self care right now. And that's when we're going to leave her alone. That's how grown women carve out space for themselves. They do not allow themselves to become depleted taking care of other people. And so many women, especially when they're moms, have this feeling like if they say no to their kids or send their kids into their room to be quiet for an hour or two, or tell their husband take the kids to the park. I don't want to be bothered with none of y'all for a couple of hours here. I want to have some time to myself, or or to go out and leave the kids with a babysitter. You guys really struggle with that. You just feel like, oh my God, what are they going to do without me? That says more about you and your insecurities and your self-esteem than it does about the kids. Kids are fine. Your husband's fine. They might miss you, but they'll be happy to see you when you get back. But they're not gonna die. What are you doing? You have to take care of yourself, ladies. You have to take care of yourself. You should not be having wrinkles and lines, and you need your hair trimmed up, and you got roots showing from your last relaxer or whatever, and stuff looking all raggedy. Your hands are jacked up, your feet's toe up, all the stuff. Your skin is all dry and crispy. You don't wear makeup no more. You smell like well, whatever. I mean, do stuff for yourself. Do things to take care of you. Enjoy your life, okay? And you don't go, oh, the women, oh my God. And think about like the women. There was an article, actually did a video about the women coming up to the school in pajamas and nightgowns and stuff with no underwear on, and the men come, I mean, just people just coming out in public looking any old kind of way. A grown woman will never do that. Even if she just has on jeans, a t-shirt, and puts her hair up in a bun, she's gonna go out the house looking presentable. Because you just never know what'll happen or what you'll be called on to do or who you're going to run into. Okay, it could be someone important like your boss and his wife and his kids, and here you are looking like a bum that just rolled out of bed with your house slippers on and stuff. I mean, what kind of image is that to give to people who could have some bearing on your career? I wouldn't do that if I were you. That might. You got your face mask on. That's what I'm saying, girl. Got to take care of that skin. So you do that, so you could be old like me and still have nice complexion. I take care of myself, and I don't let people stress me out. As soon as they start, they're gone. I just you can't be in my life treating me like that. That's not gonna happen. And part of self care is your mind. So many women don't read. Not only do they not read, they don't go nowhere. And every time you ask about something, oh, I don't know nothing about that. Well, what do you know? All you do is watch TV. Something's wrong with you. Get yourself to a library card, if nothing else. Take your mind down there and get you some books and read them. Sign up to some business websites online. I read everything. I know all kinds of stuff. First stuff that I don't even need to know, I still know it because that's how my mind works. I want to keep my mind active. I want to keep learning things, and it makes you a much more interesting person, a better conversationalist. And when you go on dates with guys, you always have something interesting to share with them. Okay, besides what happened on Housewives or some other dumb TV show, Power, and all the stuff y'all be watching. So, traveling is part of that. Enriching your life, is all part of your self care and self development. All right, so let's move on to the next one. This is one that so many of you slide into this. You don't get involved in silly beast stuff, online or off. You just don't do that. You guys will get into this thing where I heard so and so was talking shit about me, or so and so said this and that, or they, it's anyway. It's like this like stuff like you still in middle school. Who does that? Why would you do that? I mean, it was even so bad. I had people coming on to my channel for a minute. I don't know who they were because I don't know these people, and they was like, oh, so and so made a video and they was talking mess about you. I'm like, okay, what you telling me for? You think I'm gonna just be mad and just go to? Now the only time I would do something is if I went over there and there was some copyright infringement. Okay, but now we're talking business. We're not talking about the fact that they said something about me. They say whatever they want to say. Men have been talking about my ass since I first got on the internet 20 years ago. Okay, so I've always been on men's lips. That's just how it is. And I can't be bothered with that because I got to focus on what I'm doing. If I start worrying about what they're doing, then I can't worry about what I'm doing. And that's what you all do. You be worried about what they be doing. All these people online, these people in your neighborhood, so and so at school, all this old stuff. And it's like, okay, that's not a grown woman, that's a little girl. You just want to be involved in silly bee stuff, and with all this he said she said nonsense. That makes no sense. Honey, yes, the block and delete. All of the all of that. It's just pointless to do all of that. Even to the point where some of these girls are getting mad. You notice you've seen that in the advice column, right? Oh, this my man was liking her pictures, and this girl was coming and she was commenting on all of my guy's stuff. And he and just all worked up about some likes on social media. I try to keep a straight face because I know it from my perspective is stupid, but from theirs, I mean, this is a real problem to them. I don't see it that way, but I still have to respond to the question as it was written. And so I'm trying to explain now. If you are a young lady and social media is part of your existence, it came along later in my life, but y'all grew up with this stuff, so it has a different focus for you. Let me put it back into perspective. Social media is not the real world. Okay, it doesn't matter if your dude hasn't changed his status. If that's your man, you have a commitment to. I mean, what you wanted your whole life. Remember, go refer back to the previous point about putting all your business out in public about your relationship. See, from my perspective, nobody should have this unless they married. Then you might put your status up there, but other than that, nobody needs to know. Why? What difference does it make? I don't know. Um, just let all that stuff go. And if somebody is doing something, that really is a problem, like to where they're doing something that will fall into the category of slander or libel, then get yourself an attorney and sue the pants off of them. But if it's anything other than that, just let it go because it's stupid. They're just trying to get a rise out of you. Don't give them the pleasure. Do not give anybody that power in your life. All right, let's move on. We're going to go on to point number 10 now. A grown woman does not ever, not never, sign on for struggle love. Struggle love is the domain of silly bees. Okay? Silly, silly, silly. What in the world are you doing? Okay. This is when you are a grown woman and you get into a relationship with a man, you expect him to play his position. Okay. If I'm gonna be the woman, you're gonna be the man, and you're gonna play your position, and you're gonna play it well, and you're gonna play it thoroughly, and you're gonna play to win. Okay. We not doing anything else. We're not gonna be doing any stuff where you sit on your butt and you don't want to work, where you don't have no car, where you got bill collectors chasing you, where your child support payment is, thousands of tens of thousands of dollars in arrears. No, 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 no. Nope. Not doing that. Where you homeless, you got drug problems, you got alcohol problems, you got issues that's kind of gonna cause me problems. You got some bad kids, you got a crazy baby mama or two, crazy ex-wife. Whatever is your drama, you're gonna keep it over there because grown women don't sign into relationships for drama. We don't do the struggle love thing. Now, that's not part of the agenda. Because see, once again, if I'm over where they're worried about what you're doing and you're struggling with you, then that means I can't do what I need to be doing for my program because I'm giving all my energy over there for some nonsense dealing with you. Can't do that. Can't do it. No, and a lot of them, the worst ones are the ones who come in there. Okay, they don't have no money, so they be like, can I hold this and can you spot me that? Or they come in and they have jacked up credit, right? So they need you to co-sign a loan for them because they want to start a business. They want to be a businessman, or they need you to help them get a vehicle, or they need you to help them get whatever, what tools, whatever it is. They want to use your credit, all the stuff, your credit card, charge it for me, I'll pay you back later, all this kind of stuff. That is struggle love. The only time somebody should be using your credit is if he gives you the cash in hand, you put it on your credit card, and you already had the money, right? You had the money. So when the bill comes, you put you pay it, or you can even pay it in advance. So you have a credit on your credit account card if you want to do that. That's the only time that would happen. But I can't see any reason for that because unless you're just trying to build your credit, because once he has the money in his hand, why can't he just go down there and buy it? You see what I'm saying? So the only reason that would be a benefit to you is if you're trying to build a credit. You want to say, okay, well, I charged this and I paid it on time, so that helps you build in your positive credit rating. That would be the only reason to do that, and that would be helpful for you. But other than that, there's no point in that. Yeah, I would say I'm not signing nothing. I'm not signing. We're not doing nothing. I'm not going to help you with your child support. I'm not going to help you with your car note. I'm not going to help you with your rent. I'm not buying you nothing unless it's your birthday or Christmas. I get you a gift. That's about it. Maybe if we still together, because you never know about that either. Okay, let's move on. Grown women do not hesitate about cutting it off, ending things, moving on. They just don't. Some of you, though, and we're going to be talking about that on what day is it? The 5th. We're going to be discussing soul ties, which is the reason why a lot of you give as your excuse for why you have to stay in a stupid relationship with a stupid man or stay hanging around with a stupid man. So we're going to talk about that too. But let's just talk about this right now. So you got a dude, right, and you dealing with this dude, and he pisses you off, and he disrespects you, or he fails to hold up his end of the bargain. You may or may not discuss it with him. You may have already discussed it with him in the past. I told him if you do anything like this, we're over. And so he does something like that, so then it's over. And the grown woman is a woman of her word. She knows if he cheated, then she's not gonna just go chasing down the other woman either. She's not gonna email the chick. She's not gonna call the chick. She's not gonna text the chick. She's not going to the other woman's house because her relationship is with dude. Okay, dude is the one who is responsible for his treatment of her in their relationship. That's how grown women conduct themselves, and then relationship is over. We don't need to fight about it. You already knew it was over, but that's why you did what you did. Because I told you if you did anything like that, it was over. The problem is, see, grown women mean what they say and it's over. The rest of y'all don't. Well, we could work it out. Well, it was only one time. Well, you know, he was drunk. He was high. He didn't. What are you gonna try to jump some kind of reason why you don't have to go through? Thanks, Tracy. Trying to find any reason why you don't have to follow through on your word. When you told him, if you do these things, you treat me this way, it's over. And then you don't do it. What you've done is taught him that you don't mean nothing and that you're not a grown woman. You're just a scared little girl whose the relationship to this knucklehead is more important than your own self respect and your dignity. See, that's what I'm trying to get you all to stop doing. You don't sacrifice yourself. Refer back to earlier. I don't remember which number it was. Should have put numbers on these dang slides. All right, you can't do that. Um, let's move on to the next one. Grown women are brave. They have a fierceness about them. You know not to cross them because that would be a mistake. That would be a gross error in judgment on your part. Okay, you don't want to do that. Now, part of that is being unafraid of the unknown, right? Um, One of the key things I hear women say all the time, and I heard this a lot when I moved down south to Houston. Oh, I don't know nothing about that. I'm afraid of that. I never had that before. I'm not gonna eat that. I don't know what's in that. This, okay. All these things of fear, and even as far as like dating a guy that is maybe of another ethnicity, another culture. Oh, they just have us as a fetish. They don't really like us. This and that. Okay, again, fear. You haven't tried it. You haven't even talked to nobody of another race or culture. So, but you have all these preconceived notions of rejection. Okay, that says about you. That doesn't say anything about those guys. It talks about you and your inability to have confidence in yourself. We'll get to that in a minute. But you're afraid. You're afraid to be alone. You're afraid to try new things. You're afraid to go new places. You're afraid to try it just a lot of fear on the part of women about stuff that really is not, it's not like something that's fatal. It's not that you're gonna die from it. You just don't want to do it because you're scared because it's new and it's different. That's what the difference is between the little girl mentality and the grown woman. The grown woman's like, oh well, hey, let's try it. Let's go. It's going to broaden my horizon. It's going to enrich my life. It's going to change me for the better because now I have a new experience. But the little girl types don't think like that. They only want to go with what's familiar and comfortable, like a teddy bear, like a baby. But really, when you think about fear, I said this in the intro video, how my dad used to tell us, fear is like either people are motivated by the pursuit of pleasure or by the avoidance of pain. And fear is what's that avoidance of pain thing, that trigger is fear. And the majority of people, I believe, on this planet are motivated by fear. I probably, not a good 90, 95%. Their motivator is fear. And if you say something to them the right kind of way, they are going to be terrified. Women will say, like the man will say to them, you'll never find anybody because you have 2 or 3 kids and you this and that and blah, blah, blah. Nobody will ever want you if you leave me. Well, what is he doing? He's instilling fear in you because he's trying to make you doubt yourself so you won't leave him. Really, the one who's terrified of being abandoned is him. So he's pitching around trying to find a way to make you more fearful than he is. Y'all don't know the game. You don't recognize it. But that's why I'm here. That's why you got me though. So nope. Even in and this is like a cultural thing. I've noticed this among black folks. They don't even like to be the first one at the party. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to be the first one there. Let's just go later. Ain't nobody here. And this and that. And so that the fear of being the first one there is even a motivator. I'm like, ooh, y'all be scared of every damn thing. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Why can't you be the first one there? What's wrong with that? You get your pick of tables. Get your drink on early. You don't even have to wait at the bar. I see that as a strict advantage. I don't know about the rest of you. Go up there, talk to the DJ, give him my list. Okay, I don't care when you play them. Here's $5. Make sure these songs are in the rotation sometime tonight. And guess what? There's nobody to compete with you. So you can play your songs and then play them again off of your $5 tip. There are strict advantages to going places being the trailblazer. Y'all just ain't even knowing. I be working it. Okay, let's move on to that was number 12, so we on number 13. A grown woman does not waste her time staring at the television. Okay, I call it the idiot box. You know why? Because there's nothing on there but stupid stuff. And then depressing stuff like the news. Okay. You sit around watching TV. Some people's their TV is on from the moment they were. Actually, it's on all the time because they sleep with the TV on. Okay, so their brain never shuts down because part of it is still working because it's listening to that trash on there, which is absorbing into their mind. Okay, they're hearing it and it's soaking in, and they're not even realizing the toxicity that they're feeding themselves 24 hours a day. Listening to stupid stuff on TV. If you go to people's house, they don't have not one book in their whole house but a TV in every room. Each kid got a TV in their room. Some people have a TV in the kitchen too. Living room, den, bedrooms. TVs everywhere. And the people just stare at this thing all the time. And that's their source of entertainment. I don't understand that at all. When my daughters go, we had one TV. And I strictly monitored her use of it. Okay, then we didn't have a TV at all. I haven't had cable in 12 years. Okay, so if it's not on Netflix where I can get over my internet connection, or what else? I watch like some Korean dramas. I like those too. But if it's not something like that, I don't see it because I'm not gonna be wasting my time sitting in front of the TV for hours on end every day. You're not doing anything productive then. You're not thinking, you're not developing, you're not growing. You're just letting someone spoon feed you the information that they want to give you. Stop doing that. Turn your television off. Pick up a book. Do something with yourself. It's just ridiculous to have these many people that that don't know anything and don't read and not trying to know nothing. That's the part that kills me. Tell you everything there is to know about some stupid TV show. Know all the details about all the characters and all this kind of stuff. But nothing else. Yes, that's coming in from Twitch. That's what that is, but don't worry about it. Um, yeah, you ain't making no money. The advertiser's making a lot of money, but you ain't making none. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, documentaries are good. At least you're learning something that's about history or about something that's happening. Yes, online posts, that's all they do is spread misinformation. I'm sitting up here reading in the chat room in case you wonder why I'm talking about something so randomly. I'm reading the chat stream. But that is very true, ladies. That's very true. Okay, now let's talk about how a grown woman conducts herself as far as handling the promises that she makes, the commitments that she makes to her friends and her family and her man. Okay, she does not leave those people hanging. She honors her commitments. She has integrity. Now, what happens is you see a lot of people have this very casual attitude about blowing people off. I had a friend who I had bought these tickets, right? I forgot it was some little show. We was going to some jazz club or something. I paid like $60 each for these tickets. I was just going to do it because she was, she'd done some nice things for me and my daughter. And so I'm in the car on the way to pick her up, and she calls to tell me, "Oh, I just don't feel like going." Okay, what? I don't spend $60 on this ticket. And it's like the last minute, so it's not like I could just find somebody else to use the ticket. The show starts at 45 minutes. And so I ended up going, by myself and stuff. But you know what happened? After that, I never invited her anywhere else. Never. Never did it. Because I just, I didn't appreciate that. And it was like, it just showed me like a marked lack of respect for my money. And I couldn't see putting myself in that position ever again. I still, like the woman and everything. I mean, it wasn't like that, but you have my boundaries are in place. So even if I see her now, I drive my car, she drives hers, and we meet there. I ain't picking you up, and I ain't spending no money on you. Never again. So that doesn't that's what I'm talking about. So if you make a commitment to somebody, you say you're going to be somewhere and do something, you do it. You're there for them. Okay, you say you're going to take them to the doctor. You pick them up, you take them to the doctor. You present yourself as a grown woman as someone who is dependable, that your friends and family can count on you, that you are like rock solid person in their life and they know it. Okay, there's no better friend to have, no better sister, sibling, whatever, no better daughter, nothing to have than somebody who always keeps their word. Okay, that is a trait that a lot of people don't have anymore. If you are a grown woman, you understand the value of of keeping your word. They used to say a man's word is his bond, but I think that applies to anyone as an adult. If you give your word to someone, that's your bond, and step up and make it happen. Don't leave people hanging and don't abandon them just because you feel like it, like a little flaky, temperamental child. Oh, I changed my mind. I don't want to go. I didn't. You know, yeah, that flakiness, that's got to go. You can't be like that and be counting yourself a grown woman who's about what she's supposed to be doing. Okay, you don't treat people like that. Next. All right. Now this one is very, very important and this is key. A grown woman does not give more than she gets in a relationship. Now, what that means is that she's going to give her man, or the man that she's dealing with, the same amount of energy and investment that they give her. Unfortunately, too many of you are in these one-sided relationships where you do all the giving. You do it all. You take, and then have the nerve to be running around bragging, talking about, I take care of my man. No, you're an idiot. That's what you are. You're giving in a vacuum. You don't ever get anything back from him or some little crumb mess he throws at you. You always spending money on him. You always taking care of him. You always cleaning, cooking, doing shopping, doing all stuff, taking care of him, his kids. You do stuff, nice stuff for his mama. You do everything, and he does nothing or very little. Okay, that's not the kind of relationship. It has to be a balance. And I'm not saying it's a tit for tat because sometimes it's going to be one more than the other. It's going to switch off and stuff like that. But I'm talking about overall, the relationship is a balanced one with investment of time and energy and emotion and what else? Effort. Time, energy, emotion, and effort. There has to be a balance. Okay. You doing all the calling, you doing all the texting, you doing all the setting up for the dates, you doing all the driving to the date, you picking them up, you dropping them off, you doing everything. Grown women don't do that. That is the sign of a desperate little girl trying to hang on to something that it should not be hung on to. Just refer back to the slide in the conversation about struggle love a few slides back. That should give you a clue about what you're doing and why you need to stop. You're just going to give your man the same amount of energy that he gives you. You're never going to chase him, a man. Don't you ever chase a man. If he stops calling, then y'all stop talking. You don't call him talking about, well, what? How haven't I heard from you? Well, where have you been? Oh, I texted you and you never texted me back. What was you doing texting him? You don't do that. That's chasing. You see where I'm going with this? You give him the energy that he gets back. He calls you, he leaves a message, you call him back. Hi. He calls you, you pick up the phone. Hey. He texts you, you text him back. Do you call him first? No. Do you ask him out first? No. You don't do that. Do you propose marriage to him? Absolutely not. Okay, And even like as far as buying stuff, a lot of women are like, oh, I want to get him a gift. I got him a card. I did this and that. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying a lad anything. Trying to watch my language. I'm not doing that. And I suggest that you not either. If your man, men love to get their woman a little surprise. They love it. They love it. Whether it's flowers, a little, some little ink pen or some little trinket to sit on your desk at work. Or, I mean, whatever. They're going to get something. It could be something expensive like a bracelet, diamonds or whatever. Or it could just be something cute. A pair of earrings, a bow for your hair. I mean, whatever. Something to wear in the gym or, t-shirt or some leggings to wear to work out. I mean, whatever it is. Men like to get their women little gifts. He gets you a little gift, you can get him one. But don't you get him one first? Because now you've established yourself as being desperate. Stop it. Yes, he's a lad. I got all my UK people to be writing me letters. I'm learning all kinds of new lingo. Hence the change to lad. Remember that girl? She kept saying hints. I like if she say hints one more time. But yeah. All right, let's move on. You don't buy him gifts? Well, I used to get my husband stuff, but key word husband. And my brothers, I just got him something. I sent him this nice 49ers sweatshirt for his birthday yesterday. So he could wear it today when he rooted for the 49ers. That's his favorite team. But that's my brother. It's different. Average Nick Nog, he ain't getting nothing out of me. Don't even know. Don't think about it. Okay, now this one is the next one. A grown woman will never sacrifice her relationships with other people for a man. What does this mean? Some of you will get with a man, right? And you just disappear. Your friends be like, wonder what happened to you. They can't find you. You used to hang out with them at least once a week. Now you all up under Johnny Ray, Mickey Mouse, whatever dude's name is. You just all up under him now. Nobody can find you. And some of you are even so bad. Like if you have plans with your female friends or female relatives, you will cancel them because dude called at the last minute and wants to see you and roll through. So you call up your girlfriends and you cancel on them in order to entertain this man. Don't do that ever. That's not that's not how grown women handle themselves. If the guy calls and says, "Oh, I want to see you." Now here it is, the last minute. You say, "Oh, that's really great. That's good to hear from you, but unfortunately, I have plans tonight. I'm not available." That's how you teach them to make plans in advance and not take you for granted. And you don't have to be mad. You don't have to cuss and act a fool like I probably would have in my younger days. Now I just be like, oh, 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 and just say I'm not available. What's he gonna do? And the next time he wants to see me, he will call earlier, like a day or two beforehand, not 20 minutes beforehand. Okay, because if we not like engaged and stuff about to be married, you don't have that privilege. Okay, that's that's like husband privileges. Okay, and even then that was kind of iffy. 'Cause I had to check him because I'm bringing friends home, people home with him from work. I said, one time you gonna do that, and I'm gonna be walking around the house naked. Then what you gonna do? Oh, I said, no. See, I done told you, don't ever do that. So that he kind of like woke him up, so he didn't do that anymore. But that's all you got to do. You just got to put something on their mind. But you got some guy you trying to sacrifice your friends, because he doesn't want to like your friends, right? So he don't want you to see around. He don't think you should be going out with clubs and dancing and stuff because you're not single anymore. And I don't like so and so, so you shouldn't be her friend anymore. So those are the kind of things, he don't want you to go to. He doesn't go to church, so he doesn't really want you to go either. Well, why are you so close to your family? Why do you have to see them every week, every Sunday? What about me? So see, a man is supposed to fit into your life. He's not supposed to take it over. And too many of you put them in a position where you give them total control over everything that you do, everywhere you go, what you wear, what you say, what you do, who your friends are, everything. You stop doing that. That's not what grown women do. Grown women own their stuff. They own themselves. They decide their own path in life. And dude is either with the program or he's out the door. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, and you don't give up your friends and your family and your hobbies and your interests to keep a man around. He's gonna fit in where he fits in. Or get what they say, get in where he fits in. That's it. This show, my life is not about you, sir. My life is about me. Now I don't mind sharing it with you, but you're not gonna take it over. You don't dictate nothing that I do, and you don't control nothing either. And more of you have to have that mindset. A man is something that augments your life. He should never ever be put in a position where that you take him over. He just takes over as being your whole life. It's like your hobby and your only interest is a man. Do you know how boring you are? Oh my God, so many women like that. You go to work, you go to church, and you go home and deal with some man. That's it. That's your whole life. Don't have no interest, no hobbies, don't do nothing. Just boring as all hell. I know I'm gonna step on some toes, but that's my point. That's what I want to do. So you cannot step on people's toes. They don't grow if you just coddle them. You have to point out that how what they're doing is self-defeating and stupid. And they're gonna be, right now they might be 30 and cute, 35 or whatever. Okay, now you're gonna be 50, 60 years old and you still gonna be doing the same stuff, not having read no books, and now you're dumb. You're super dumb. 30 years have passed by before you haven't picked up a book since high school. You don't know nothing. You can't have nothing to talk about except what's on TV or what happened in church or what somebody gossip said. Do you know how dumb you sound? Boring? And then you wonder why your man don't want to be around you? It's because you boring as hell. You don't have shit to talk about. He don't want to be sitting there looking at you. He's gonna go around some people that have something exciting and mentally stimulating to discuss. That's not you. Okay, so if that is you, you better get your game in gear and start changing yourself. This is just ridiculous. All right, let's move on. I'm getting closer. This is number 17. 17 out of 21 things I'm reaming you guys about today. 21 things that grown women do, that grown women with polish and confidence, high self esteem, and goals for their life do, and how they handle this, is how they roll in the world and how they handle men in their relationships. That's what we're talking about. And how the things, if you're not rolling like this, you need to, you need to change the way you handle yourself. Okay. Now, a grown woman refuses to disrespect herself or to be undignified at any time. What does that mean? Well, some of that happens, automatically as you mature. As you mature and you grow, get older, some of the mental things that you held on to just kind of go away anyway. But um, Grown women don't let men just take away their self-respect. Their desire for a relationship is never replacing their self-respect or their dignity. They are not going to lower themselves, lower their standards, lower their decorum, the way the way they move and shake in order to be with any dude. That never, ever, ever is going to happen. So these are not, you're not going to see these kind of women having arguments out in the street, fighting with nobody. Not going to do any of that. Not happening. Might run them over with your car, though. Y'all know that story, but I told you when I was young, I was crazy. I was crazy. Um, And they do not, as evidenced by several letters that came in the advice column the last few weeks, allow a man to call them out of their name, to talk about their body, to talk about their intellect, to say anything that's mean or degrading or demeaning to them, to throw things at them. These are all things that we've heard in the advice column the last month or so. These men making these rude, condescending remarks and abusive language towards the woman. T telling his own wife that she was fat and all this kind of stuff. I mean, just horrible stuff. You don't, a woman who's a grown woman is not going to accept such treatment. She's not going to accept it from dude. She's not going to accept it from his mama. She's not going to accept it from her mama. She's not going to accept it from his kids, from his siblings. Nobody. Nobody is going to talk to her crazy or disrespect her home or her or anything. That's just not going to happen. And so she doesn't have to, like, go crazy and cuss them out or anything like this, but everyone will get told and put in their place and put in check. And if necessary, then she will leave the relationship because she's not going to let herself be disrespected. It's not going to happen in order to keep a man around and keep a relationship. Okay, and I think that's something that a lot of young women don't really get because, and it took me a while to figure this out. Um, these these young women are used to being talked to like that. They grew up in homes where they were called names. So to them that kind of behavior is normal. It's not, anything that's really unusual. And when they were telling me these stories, I mean, that just broke my heart. Every kid I think should have someone in their life or more than one someone who thinks they are just the bomb, is crazy about that child, who would do anything for that child. Lift that child up, educate them, get them what they need, never let them suffer, be in pain or sick or anything. Every child needs somebody like that in their life. If it's not your parent, then somebody. But so many young people grew up without that. And so they've reached adulthood with all these wounds and they're looking to get them filled, and the empty holes in their heart and spirit filled with these relationships by these people who are just as damaged as they are. It's not going to happen. These people are incapable of filling those holes for you. They can't even fill them for themselves. All they're going to do is damage you more. So you know it's it's very interesting. This stuff can get really, really deep. So I'm just touching the surface. But what I do know is, everybody can recognize disrespect if you just study it. Even if it seems normal to you, you still know it's wrong. Even though it doesn't bother you as much as it bothers other people, you still know that you shouldn't be getting talked to that way. So until you start putting up boundaries and telling people that try to talk to you that way or treat you that way, that they're out of your life, then you're going to continue to be in that cycle of abuse. Verbal, emotional, psychological, and often physical abuses will be suffered by these people that you let stay around you. You have to extricate yourself from those situations, okay? Grown women do that. Back to that slide about self-care. This is under the self-care category. You're not taking care of yourself if you let somebody mess you up like that, okay? All right, let's move on to the next one. Oh, grown women do not follow those scripts. That script of submission and that script of, my man is my king, my king script. They don't do that. Your man cannot be your dictator. You are in a relationship with him as a partner, and you expect to be treated as a partner, which means that you give and you get respect. Each of you respects each other, okay? You see him as a teammate. He respects your decisions, you respect his, but he's not going to be put in a position of a dictator where he makes decisions that affect you, your household, or your family with no input from you. He just, just feel like, well, I'm the man, and so I made the decision, and you just going to go along with it, and everybody's just going to go along with it because I said so. I remember having a conversation with this guy I was talking to at one point. Boy, after this conversation here, I knew it was never gonna work. Just after this one conversation, let me tell you what happened. So we were talking, and we got along pretty good. Everything was cool until this. So he says, "Oh, well, I feel like, as the man, I should decide, to make the big decisions because someone has to make decisions. Everything can't be a joint decision." I said, "Oh." Well, give me an example. I didn't want to just jump to conclusions. I want to know what he was talking about. So he's like, well, for instance, like she, meaning, can make a decision about, what we have for dinner or, I don't know, he rattled off some little basic stuff. But, I'll make the decision about where we live. I said, okay, so you telling me you would make a decision about where your family lives without any input from your wife? And he says, yeah. I said, oh. I said, let me tell you why that's not going to work because men are stupid. And since I knew we wasn't going to go no further than right now, I just had no problems telling him he was stupid. You're stupid because of this. Number one, men don't think about, he traveled a lot for work. I said, okay, so you're going to be gone. You're looking at where's the housing is the least expensive. And a woman is going to be looking at where's the housing the most safe because you're not going to be there. She's going to be there with them kids by herself. She needs to know that the neighborhood is safe. The area is safe for her to be driving around. The kids will walk to and from school. How far is the school? What's the rating of the school? What about middle school? What about high school? He's just sitting there. I said, is there daycare nearby? How far is it to commute to work? Is it going to be like really super expensive? I mean, the housing is cheap, but now you're making up the difference in commute costs and time on the road away from the kids. Well, you could have just paid $20,000 more and bought something closer to where you're going to be working and stuff and other families to help you with the kids. So he hadn't thought of any of that. And to me, see, that's why partnerships are good because each partner is going to bring different things to the table to make the decision that you guys come up with jointly the very best, well thought out one that's taking everything into consideration. But he didn't have it. He was like, oh, well, I didn't even think of none of that. I didn't think of all of that. I said, I know. And that's why it would be stupid for you to make a decision of something in that magnitude by yourself. So you just gonna go buy a house and then everybody got to move up in it, and then it's like gunshots and shit a week later? No, you're dumb. I'm done here. And that was it. That was it. That was our last conversation. But see, that's what happens when you're older. You can read between the lines, and you can see problems that are gonna like blow up in your face if you stay on this path. I cut it off right there. I liked him, but I didn't like him that much. And I knew I was gonna hate him if he tried some stuff like that. We would be fighting. Like this city knockout town kind of fighting. No, we're not doing that. So that's what I'm saying. You got to have a man who's on your same page and who understands what partnership is and who's going to work with you to arrive at the decisions that are the best for everyone in the family unit. Grown women insist on that. Girls who are insecure and who want to be dominated and controlled will say, oh, okay, well, you the man. Oh, I know I'm supposed to submit to my king. That's just like, woo, that's unbelievable. Next slide. A grown woman never gives up who and what she is for a man. Now, I've touched on this in bits and pieces throughout this show, but I want to make this a real point here about women who are guilty of changing themselves or abandoning hobbies and interests that they had because he doesn't like it or they want to be with him so they pretend to like what he likes. Knowing you don't like it. For instance, I had a friend who, man, she couldn't stand the cold. Couldn't stand it. The girl was anemic. But and so it's cold just and her was just like not friends at all. She hated it. But her dude liked to snowboard. That's just like okay, snowboard and ski, downhill ski. So he loved being in the snow. She hated being in the snow. It just made her feel physically ill. Do you know that dummy went out and bought her like some a bib and the jacket and all the stuff, right? And she chased this dude around on the slopes and stuff, getting sick and cold and freezing cold, and everything, in order to be up under this man. And I'm like, couldn't you compromise? Just go with him and you stay in the little cabin thing by the fireplace or something. And then when he came in from skiing, y'all have lunch or dinner together, whatever, and go to the little nightclub and dance or whatever. I mean, there's could be something worked out where you could be with him, but you don't have to be in like with him every second on the snow, pretending that you like something that you don't like. What are you doing? But women do that. Or they like, to do something like, I don't know, maybe she just likes to lounge on the couch on the weekend and read books and eat ice cream and play with her cat or something. And she likes to do that every Saturday. But now she got this man and he wants to be out and about doing stuff. And she misses her Saturdays where she just unwound and just didn't do anything. And that was her downtime. That's how she got her mind relaxed from the stresses of the previous week and geared up for the coming week. She had a really stressful job. So then it's like she gave that up to race around on Saturdays with this dude because he liked to be doing everything and going everywhere. And so that she was being going back to work exhausted week after week after week after week. And she didn't have the courage to tell him, I don't want to do this. I want to do what I want to do. She didn't have the courage. She thought, I guess that he would not want to be with her or something. I don't know what she thought. I thought it was stupid. Even, again, I got to reiterate, when you're a grown woman, you know that a man is, you got like a cake. Your life is like a cake. Your man is icing on the cake. Okay, he ain't the whole cake. And you have to think of it that way. He augments your life. He is not your life. Yeah, I don't know. I had this discussion with a friend of mine because she was saying, well, I think people need to have their hobbies. They need to have interests, similar interests. And having been with a man who had completely different interests than me, I know that that's not the case. What I think is important is when you're a couple that you hate the same things. Now that you gotta hate the same things, and then you got some unity there. But as far as like he liked to fly planes and do all this other stuff. I mean I'll get in a plane, but I'm like, them little planes look like they like them little rubber band planes we used to have made out of balsa wood when I was a kid, and I just couldn't. No, I didn't like that. And so, stuff he liked to do. I mean, I would do it with him sometimes, but it was like I had other stuff I like to do. So on Saturdays we kiss each other, and he go his way and I go mine. And then in the nighttime we get back together. Did you have fun today? Yeah. Did this and that? What you do? Well, who did you see? Yeah. And then we have all the stuff to talk about. But no, we was not doing it the hips, and no, we did not do the same things. And no, we did not even like the same things. So, and it's not that, you know, at all. You do not have to like everything that your mate likes. So I don't know where you guys get off with that, but just don't feel like you have to give up who you are to have a man. So we got two more things to talk about. This is number 20. This is where grown women have the ability to make a real strong line in the sand. The past is over that way, and the present is over here, and they don't mix the two. Okay, if you the ex, you ain't coming into the today. But so many of you women just can't let go. You want to call up your ex. You want to see what they're doing. You want to call them, talk to them on the phone, text them, be friends with them on Facebook, on social media, follow them, meet them for lunch, all this kind of stuff. What? They're your ex for a reason. Okay, they were stupid. That's why you broke up with them. They did something terrible to you or said something terrible or cheated on you, did something, right? Even if you just grew apart. It's just, so you grew apart, that means you're no longer compatible. And you have a new person. So how are you going to be bringing the past into the present? How does that work? The only time I can see that making sense is if you have children together. Well, then you have to continue a relationship with that person until your children are adults. And even then, I mean, because then they go have graduations and weddings and all that kind of stuff. So it pays to have at least some kind of civil association with your ex under those circumstances. If a child is involved, okay, I can roll with that. But other than that, there's no reason for you to be friends with your ex and talk to them or even acknowledge their existence ever again. Okay, you don't need to try to be friends with them. I don't know. I don't have any understanding of that, because then it puts your new person in a state of mind where he's trying to figure out, are you still in love with this man? Why you want to be in touch with him? You say he hurt you, he was so awful, but yet you keep talking about him. You want to be with him, you want to stay in touch with him, and all this goes kind of stuff. I had a woman that I knew, her ex gave her STDs and stuff, had her in the hospital. And do you know she still, even after she was an adult and married with children, still wanted to know, keep up with this dude and where he. I just did not understand that at all. Only time I would have wanted to keep up with him was so I could send a letter bomb to his house. That's the only reason I want to know where you are. Other than that, no interest at all in what dude was talking about. So I don't understand um, this need to stay in touch with the past. Just set your child support payments up, set up visitation, do everything legally so everybody knows what their role is, and then you don't have problems. There's no need, ladies, to bring the past man and his drama into what you got going on now. Have the strength to cut ties. Leave him over there. Okay, don't bring his mess around with your new dude. Don't do that. Your new household, your new family, your new baby, nothing. Keep him in the past, you know? Oh, okay. And then the last one, there we go. The very last one, you going full no contact. God, that's the way to do it, girl. I'm trying to tell you. A grown woman does not vacillate, indecisively saying one thing but doing another. A lot of you do this. I think a lot of it is because you are afraid. You're afraid to take a stand. You're afraid to take a stand. And you will say something, but then you go back on it. You say things like, um, I'll just read you my notes. A grown woman says what she means and means what she says. If she says she wants to commit a relationship, she will not agree to having a third party side chick involved. If she said she insists on protection, you trying to whine it doesn't feel the same, will get you kicked out of her bed. If she said that you two aren't right for each other and that this is the end, that's what she means. Don't look for her to ever come back, and she won't be looking for you to come back either. Grown women trust themselves to make the right choice in their own best interest. She will set healthy boundaries and prioritize her needs. She knows what she will and will not accept and will not be pressured, guilt tripped, or whined into accepting or doing things that she does not want to do. Or except if she decides that what you want is something other than what she is, she will leave with no hard feelings. Okay? That was easier than trying to just, stumble around with my words because I put a lot of thought into this. And I've been working on these pieces for months now. But I think it was very important for me to, give you guys examples of behaviors of how mature adult women handle their business versus those of you still trying to find your way, are very confused about what you're supposed to be doing, or living your life like little girls, just bouncing around from man to man and not really having a plan for what you're going to be doing and how you're going to be doing it. You must have a program that you're working, and your program must be about you, and it must be about advancement and making things better, smarter choices, all of that. All of those things have to be a part of your program. All right. So, at some point, I think in every woman's life, she reaches a point of a certain level of mental maturity and physical age, and all of that things where you just don't give a damn. You just don't. You just don't care anymore about what people are talking about. No, Coco, this show will be over after this, but there's going to be some question. If you want to submit a question for What the Fuck Tuesday, go up to the top of the YouTube channel. You'll see a little button that says green. Get advice is like green. Or in the show description page, there's a link to the form too. Just go scroll down in the show description. It's the same form. It's just two different ways to get to it. You fill that out and send that in, and that's how you get your questions submitted. We'll be doing those questions on Tuesday. But back to this. At some point in our lives, we reach this point where we just don't give a damn about what people think, what people want. We can say no so easy. It's just like no is my favorite word. I'm no and oh hell no and all kind of other adjectives in front of no and just with different inflections. Nah, no, all that. I just love it. Just love to say no, especially to men. I love it. It's like my favorite thing. But it takes a woman. You get to a certain point where you have the strength to do that, and a lot of younger women don't have that yet. You're still in that people pleasing mode where you think that you have to be somewhere, be this kind of presentation that quote men like in order to get yourself a boyfriend or a husband. And I'm telling you, that's not the case. Because I was the most evilest little short thing on two legs. And somebody wanted to marry me. I don't know why he wanted to marry me quick. I don't still don't understand how that happened. But that's just how it is. So you be comfortable being who you and what you are. You'll never ever ever be good at being anybody else anyway. You'll be a fraud. You won't like yourself because you won't feel genuine. You must live your life, ladies, and you must handle yourself and other people so that every morning when you get up you look in that mirror and that face that's staring back at you is the face that you just want to kiss and say, "Girl, you just doing the damn thing. You was on it. I love everything you do. I love everything you say. I love everything about you." And you're saying that to yourself. If you can't do that, you look down, you feel embarrassed, ashamed, you like hiding parts of yourself. You're trying to figure out who you are. You're trying to please all these other people. So you're bending and changing and folding and doing all the stuff that's not it's not really who you are. You're trying to please them. Then you have got to kind of reassess what you're doing and why you're doing it. Why? Why? Yeah, this was a lot, and I know it's 21 things. You'll probably have to listen to this again because it was a lot of material. But I do want you to really give it some serious thought. These ideas are culled from conversations that I've noticed in the chats the past couple of months, as well as from the advice letters, as well as from comments on the YouTube wall. So, the thoughts of different women and there are things that they said that they've done and been doing in a relationship all came together into these 21 things. I didn't just come to make these up. They were based on things that I observed y'all saying and things that you said that you do. Okay, so this is for you. I didn't want to, I'm not calling nobody out by name, but there's quite a few of you that, fit many of these points here. So I hope that this was very helpful to you and, that it's beneficial information for you. Why won't this work? There we go. And that you guys, you know, can take this and make some changes in your life with it. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm stuttering here. But we will be back. Let's see. Tomorrow is a recorded show. I've already uploaded. It's going to go live. And then on Tuesday, Debruary uh, continues with What the Fuck Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I have the show about soul ties. And I really want you to pay attention to that because, man, those of you who believe in that nonsense, you about to get your feelings hurt. Because I, I have some things to say to you you are not going to like if that's your mindset towards your, why you still hanging on to some nonsense knucklehead nam that you should have let go of a long, long, long time ago. So you guys, thank you for coming and sitting in with me for the last 90 minutes. I hope this information is great for you. And, we got plenty more coming through for the rest of February 2020 is on for 29 days. So thanks, Raven Princess. You guys, thanks for all the Patreon subscriptions and thank you for the Super Chat donations tonight and always. I will see you all very, very soon. Bye bye.